I hear lots and lots of people who tell me when they first tried to put a leash on their puppy froze and would not walk, would not move for as long as the leash was on them. So let's talk about ways to introduce a leash to your very young puppy so that we can avoid some of that freezing response. When you first bring your puppy home, they might be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks old. If they've never been introduced to a leash, putting the leash on and then attempting to get them to walk can be very conflicting ideas, because the moment that the puppy feels the leash move, it activates an opposition reflex, which will often make the puppy want to completely stop. So the way that I introduce leashes to puppies, even when they're very, very young, I simply put a standard flat buckle collar on them. I find the thinnest leash that I can find, usually something that's just a couple feet long. I'll cut the hand loop off, and it's just a very thin leash, and I'll attach it to their collar. Then I go about my day as business as usual. I allow the 8-week-old puppy to kind of try to walk around with it. They're not really sure with it. I feed them with it on. I allow them to kind of engage with their siblings with it on. I pick them up and carry them around the house with it on. I bring them outside to go potty with it on. And I leave the leash on for most of the day, at least as long as I'm there to supervise. And I allow the puppy to get very used to just this thin line that's kind of hanging off of them. And as they get a little bit older, they grow a little bit more, then we can start increasing the length of the line and the thickness of the line. But usually by the time they're 10, 11 weeks, they should be pretty comfortable with the line being on them. This can also be a great system for dogs that are very, very fearful. Maybe you adopted a dog from a shelter. Maybe the dog was feral in some ways, never really been introduced to the leash either. You can do a similar thing. Find just a simple flat buckle collar, hook a very thin puppy lead, the tiniest 1/4 inch, super thin little nylon lead that you can hook on there. And maybe you start with making it 6 inches long, right? And just allowing the dog to go about its day with that 6-inch leash long on. And then eventually it's 1 foot long, and then 2 feet long, and then 4 feet long, right? And it's getting used to kind of having that flow around them. In the beginning, they might not move very much, but because it's gonna be on for long periods of time, eventually they're gonna go drink some water. Eventually they're gonna go outside. Eventually they're gonna approach you. Eventually they're gonna walk from room to room. And this isn't gonna be so much of the focus. But if the leash only comes out for walk times, we clip it on and then we're like, okay, let's go out the door. All we're doing is activating that opposition reflex and creating resistance and sometimes fear within the dog. So make the leash a very commonplace thing with those high fear cases and with those puppies, and you're gonna notice that the dogs accept the leash significantly faster. Are you interested in becoming a dog trainer? Or maybe you're already a dog trainer and you just want to gain more knowledge in behavioral work? Our certification programs can help you. If you go to our website, institute.methodcanine.com, you'll see a wide variety of certifications that we offer. And if you use the coupon code Secret Savings, all one word, all in caps, when you purchase one of our certification programs, you can get 50% off and be 50% closer to the career of your dreams.